In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what we call the reverse triage call. Okay, and this works if you're selling coaching, consulting, courses, and typically in the higher ticket range, right? Like if you're getting on the phone to sell stuff for kind of $5,000 to $50,000 plus, you might have been told about the triage call strategy, right? And what effectively that is, if you're not familiar with it, it also goes by the name of a discovery call. But the common methodology that people use to sell on the phone, right, to sell these higher ticket packages on the phone, is that they'll do these like 45-minute strategy sessions that'll, might roll on to like an hour or whatever. And so what people sometimes do is they'll put a call in front of that called the triage call or a discovery call, and that'll typically run for about 10 to 20 minutes, right? I think 15 is usually the number that people shoot for. And effectively what that is designed to do is filter people before that second call. So it's effectively turning a one call close into a two call close, okay? And I know a lot of people that use this. The issue for me with this is that it's a little bit heavy-handed. We do the significant majority of our business without calls. We do it in the DMs, myself and the team. When the brand is doing what the brand needs to do and the content's doing what the content needs to do, and the offer is packaged and presented in the right way, you don't actually need to get on the phone, even to sell more expensive stuff north of $10,000. You just don't need to, right? People mistake phone calls for being like the holy grail when it comes to sales. They're just a tool, right? They're just a tool. They're just a tool of communication that you can leverage if you choose to, but they aren't the only option. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about today is a little strategy that we do use from time to time and that we teach our clients as well, which we call a seal the deal call, right? And it's effectively a reverse triage call. And the reason it's a reverse triage call is that it happens right at the end of the process as opposed to at the start of the process. Okay, so that's what I want to talk to you a little about in this video. Before we jump into it, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like if you get any value from it. Go check out some of the other videos after you've watched this one. I think you'll get a lot if you sell courses, coaching, consulting, anything in that 1,000 to 30,000 plus range. There's going to be strategies, tactics, insights that I think will have a big impact on your results and on your business. So give this video a like. And then go check out some extra videos after you've watched this one. Would be much appreciated. Helps grow the channel, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so let's get into it. Reverse triage call. So like I said, the usual flow for us is that we just sell in the DMs. Some of our clients like to get on the phone for a couple of reasons, and that goes beyond just like getting on the phone to close the sale. It can actually be really helpful to speak to people on the phone from time to time, especially early on with an offer, to gather information and to gather data. And we like just to have this up our sleeve, right? We don't use it a ton, but when we do, it works really, really well. And it's one that we like to help our clients have up their sleeve as well. So I thought I'd share it with you and perhaps you can use it. Okay, so if we're talking about a reverse triage call, the inverse of a 15-minute call at the start of your process, it's exactly as the name suggests. It's a 15-minute call at the end of the process, and we call it a seal the deal call for that reason. It's a call where you can quickly jump on with people, answer any final questions that they've got, confirm 100% that they're a good fit, get them a link, and get them in, right? Get them into your program, whatever it is that you are selling. Now, in order for this to work effectively, right, the effectiveness of any sales call is in part driven by what happens on the call, but a big part of it is actually driven by what happens before the call. So when people are struggling with their sales calls, what they'll typically do is just go look at their script and their tonality and all that kind of stuff, right? And actually what we found anyway with any sales process is that you need to put as much, if not more, attention on the stuff that's happening before they enter the sales process, right? Because that impacts the state of mind that they're entering the sales process in, how they feel about your brand, how aware are they of your credibility and your credentials, and how deeply do they understand their own problem and how you can help them, people you've helped previously, and all that kind of stuff. So we've seen the biggest yield improving our sales process by actually improving what happens before the sales process, but that's kind of a side point, right? So what's critically important for these 15-minute seal the deal calls is that they have seen as much information as possible before you get on them. Okay, so with a typical sales call, people move to use these really, really quickly, and they will they'll do it without the person having really consumed a lot of their content. The person not really knowing who they are. They may not even really have a problem that the person can solve. It's just that they've kind of come into their world and they become a lead, and the next step is push them into a sales call, right? So we don't want to be getting on the phone with everybody here. We only want to be getting on the phone with people who have all of the details about what we do, how we can help them, and it's something that they actually want to do and want to move forward with. And we're just using this as a little tool at the end of the process to tip them over the edge. If it's going to be quicker or more efficient than doing it in the DMs, if they've got a couple of questions, or if we aren't sure if they are 100% a good fit, quick call can be a good way to do that. Or if we want to try and gather more data by having a phone conversation. Okay, so let me set the scene for you of what this might look like so that you can think about integrating it into your business. So we create content every day. I communicate with my email list, not quite daily, but pretty frequently. I post in my Facebook group nearly daily, and we stay in touch with people. We stay in touch with people that way. That's how we generate leads, and that's how we generate opportunities, right? Those then end up in messenger conversations, be that with myself or with someone from the team, and we'll go back and forth a little bit, make sure that they are a good fit for what we're doing, find out exactly what they're trying to achieve, and then we'll make a recommendation of one of our offers based on where they're at and where they're ultimately trying to get to, and then we'll send them over a document, a video, a PDF, something that essentially breaks down what our offer and opportunity is all about based on our conversation with them and based on the piece of content that they've responded to. Okay, in a lot of cases, that's enough. We get the deal done. What we sometimes add on is these seal the deal calls, and the key to them being effective so that you can jump on the phone or your team can jump on the phone for 10, 15, 20 minutes and get it done and collect data is that when they get on the phone, they have all of the information about your program. They have all the information about what it costs. They know exactly what's included. They've actually said that they're interested in it. They've said that they can afford it, okay? So if you want to be able to close these, if you do want to get on the phone and you want to be able to close the calls really, really quickly, you need to increase the amount of information that people have before they get on the phone, right? The amount of information they have about you, the amount of information they have about their own problem, the amount of information that they have about your plan of attack to help them, what's included, how it's structured, how it's priced, the guarantee. You need to just focus on getting more in their hands before you get on the phone, okay? The reason phone calls drag out in length and the reason conversion rates struggle, right? Sometimes it's due to the process of what you're actually doing on the phone, but in a lot of cases, it's lack of time and information and relationship building before the phone call. Okay, so that's why we've flipped this on its head and we get all of that in front of them before, then we can do one of these 15-minute calls and close the deal that way, okay? So this may be something that you want to look to integrate into your own business. And really the core lesson here is if you want to make your calls more efficient, if you do want to do them, you need to get more information on the table with the prospect before you ever get on the phone with them. And that can happen one-to-one through your conversation, but it can also happen one-to-many through your content, right? They can spend more time with you consuming your content, be that YouTube, email, a group, whatever, all right? So there's a couple of pieces of advice here. One, if you want to utilize this in your business, create some kind of resource, be it a video or a document that breaks down all of the information about your offer. Get that in your prospect's hands. And then if all is well with that, they might just have a couple of questions, then do a 15-minute call with them. You can answer the questions directly. You can 100% confirm they're a good fit, and you can close the deal. You'll start having very, very, very efficient phone calls because of how much information they have, right? And even if you're using longer calls and you want to make those calls convert at a higher rate, look at how much information or look at the state or the frame of mind that the person is coming into the call with. Okay, and if you're struggling with call length, you're struggling with conversion rates, pay attention to what they're seeing before they get on the phone in relation to you, in relation to your client results, in relation to your credentials, in relation to their own problem, in relation to your plan of attack and how that sits kind of relative to what else is in the market. And if you look at those things as opposed to just trying to tweak what's happening on the call, give attention to before the call, I think you'll see a big improvement in conversions, and I think you'll see a big improvement in efficiencies, okay? So think about if you want to weave this one into your business. We use it from time to time and we love it. Helps us gather data, helps us 100% confirm that someone is a good fit in those situations where we might not be quite sure. And our clients love using it as well. Some of them use it sporadically like we do in kind of situations, and some people use it all the time, right? Because they want to really, really heavily vet for a certain program or whatever. Okay, so that is an option that you've got. if you want to kind of flip the call model on its head, maybe you don't want to fully move towards closing in the DMs, which we talk a lot about in here. That's kind of a hybrid opportunity, but the success of it is going to be contingent on you getting the right information in front of your prospects before they ever jump on the call with you. Okay, you can check out that first link in the description if you want to get to know myself and what we do a little bit more. You can see a breakdown of an offer that did about 45 grand in 11 days, went on and did like 50 to 56, I think, in about 2 weeks. That's kind of how we do our offers and how we roll with things. And this strategy that I've just spoken to you about, these seal the deal calls where we hop on quickly and get the deal done, that's something that can be weaved in if folks decide they want to get on the phone, if they want to do a bit of data gathering, they want to answer questions, they want to verify that someone's 100% a good fit if they can't quite get a read on that in the DMs. So this will give you some context into how this kind of strategy I've spoken about plays into our broader offer strategy. You can check out that first link in the description. But aside from the tactic or the strategy, the big overarching lesson here is if you want to make your sales calls more efficient, if you do want to do them, is look at what's happening with that prospect, both one-to-one and one-to-many, before they ever get on the phone with you. Even if it means delaying the call a little bit, right? Even if it means delaying the call, you can make your life a hell of a lot easier if they spend time with you consuming your content, they read your emails, maybe they go through a freebie, maybe they see a couple more case studies, they see another video. You have leverage in those assets that you put in front of them that you don't have on the call. Okay, so maybe stretch out that timeline just a little bit before they get on the phone. You'll improve conversions and you'll improve efficiency overall, and I think you'll enjoy the benefits of it. Okay, appreciate you checking out this video. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.